What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I just wanted to do a quick video to highlight the Tales of the Valiant RPG Kickstarter. As if you didn't already know, it's been out for 2 days, and it's approaching $700,000. This is one of, if not the biggest Kobold Press Kickstarter of all time, and it shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. So I wanted to talk about it. I will tell you this is not a sponsored video. I just like Kobold Press products. Now, I have had my gripes about Tales of the Valiant, from everything like some of the design choices, logos, even the name to some extent, but I do still appreciate what they're attempting to do, and obviously 5,600 people are interested enough to back it. Now, there is an entire preview document that is 63 pages long, and a new design diary talking about the changes in that preview was released today. I will be making the design diary was released today, the preview came out, and it is free for everybody to check out, so consider that. I will be talking about that in a future video. This is just going to be to kind of look at what's going on with the Kickstarter. Also, I want to apologize if I look kind of disheveled. I'm in the efforts for a massive home improvement project. I've been tearing out my deck and redoing my whole garage. It's a whole thing. That's not important for the nature of the video, but if you see me looking tired or beat or exhausted in future videos, you know it's because I've been busting my ass to get stuff done around the house, while also still trying to work on keeping content flowing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Kickstarter. Here it is, Tales of the Valiant RPG, $693,000 raised so far on a goal of 100,000. 28 days left to go with 5,600 backers. So we know what this is, right? We know Tales of the Valiant. We've seen a couple of playtests, but again, keeps all the best 5e D&D and adds a Kobold Press spin to the well-loved game. So let's keep going. Early access to private playtesters. Backers get 2 exclusive playtest packets containing new classes and new creatures not available to the public until later. Create your own world and share your adventures. Retain compatibility with 5e tradition. And then again, you can click this again to get the 63-page free preview that is available to everybody. Again, backers will get early access to 2 private playtests. I'm going to back it. I don't know if I can share those because they're supposed to be private, but I'll talk to the folks at Kobold Press. We'll see what we can talk about in the future. All right, so let's talk about pledge levels, and let's talk also about potential release times, what you get. And obviously, you know, Kobold Press is just a fiend for stretch goals, so we'll see what we've got here, right? It features 13 base classes. Notice that that's 13, which is more potentially an artificer or something like that. All the lineages and heritages are classic fantasies. These include the Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Mechanist, which is obviously going to be your Artificer Surrogate, Monk, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Wizard, and Warlock, as well as humans, dwarves, elves, kobold, halflings, beastkin, and more. All right, so we can see all of the classes. I love this kobold art right here. I think this is fantastic. It's also orange. Don't know if that was intentional to hook me, but it worked. Okay, so we're moving on. Okay, and that's not nearly all. This is just a player book, by the way. The Monster Vault includes hundreds of monsters of core fantasy, from familiar orcs and red dragons to all new foes like Starcrows, Husk Demons, and Mechadrons. We've talked about some of those. They were in the Monster playtest packet. By the way, are you still interested in me going back and comparing like the classic D&D monsters from 5e versus the Tales of the Valiant versions? I can definitely still do that. This looks like to be their version of the Goblin. I'm digging that. All right, rewards. Okay, $59. This gets you, looks like, the player's handbook or the player's guide and PDFs for the alpha release and the player's guide. You can also get for $59 the Monster Vault, the alpha release, and the Monster Vault PDF. For $99, you get both of them in the slipcover case, as well as all of the PDFs. This is probably the best bang for your buck right here. You're getting 2, you get the nice slipcover for it, and you get all the PDFs. Now, there are limited editions. For $79, we do have this badass-looking Tales of the Valiant leatherette cover here. We also have the same thing for the Monster Vault, and then a limited edition. This will likely be the level I back at more than anything would be the 165 to get the limited edition covers for both. There is also this version, which looks to be the $700 version. Looks like it has an even more elite version of the covers, but also gives you 1 virtual tabletop option from Roll20, Foundry, Fantasy Grounds. It's a D20 Pro or Alchemy. Then you can also choose to get it digitally, right? Just the PDFs for $48, or get it in the virtual tabletop of your choice for $79, as long with the PDFs. And then there's the retailer only ones, that also comes with a poster, as well as add-ons that you can add. They said the partner adventure pack here, which looks to include everything you can see here, but Banner of the Bull by Lazy Wolf Studios, the Penumbral Vestibule by Ghostfire Gaming, Treasure of Shipgrade Reef by Ghostfire Gaming, We All Fall Down by Ghostfire Gaming, The Undead Gala by the Vineyard, which is, we talked about them recently. That was the first ever Tales of the Valiant Kickstarter. The Undead Gala, we just said that. The Eyes of Havchu by Kobold, Taverns and Tricksters by Steamforged Games, Magic Siphon by Necromancer Games, and Layers of the Underrealms by Frog God Games. And you can see a lot of these are tailored towards lower levels, but some of them do go a little bit higher. Kobold Press is also delighted to announce Fan Roll Dice will produce the official Tales of the Valiant 35mm Mega D20, plus a 7 dice set and a beautiful tray. You can see these here. Here are the dice. Here's the Mega one, and again, here is the tray. They're only available in the US and Canada due to shipping rules. We have the VTT partners here. There are, again, the special editions. And then what is this? The Super Deluxe Hammered Metal Edition. That's what this one is. All right, this talks a little bit about the playtest. These new monsters and new character options enter public playtest in February, and Kickstarter backers will get access to 2 additional sets of playtest material. 3 if we unlock a stretch goal. Okay, stretch goals. Well, we've already blown through a bunch, and we'll see what else we can glean from the art here. Caverns of the Spore Lord adventure for level 1. That's unlocked. A form-fillable character sheet, which is a very nice thing in a digital day and age. That's unlocked. Monster Vault Encounter Builder. That's fantastic. We need good encounter building rules. I also love the new kind of bullet design here. Designer AMA, the best of 5e and the best of TOV. All right, so that'll be probably with Celeste. 300k, this is very exciting. How to Speak Draconic, a complete language for Kobold and Dragons. I've spoken to some of my friends at Kobold Press. They hired a professional linguist to design them an entire Draconic language for usage in this. That's basically what that is, which is fantastic. That's like some Tolkien level stuff. I like that. Monster Vault, the Kobold Witch. Second AMA with designers, designing new classes. The 400,000 Monster Vault Yellow Dragon. So we're getting into the odd off-color dragons, which is exciting. 425K, Steamforged Games, new partner adventure pack. That was that already added. We talked about that. 500K, A Guide to the Labyrinth, Enter the World of the Valiant PDF. 500K is the Monster Vault Wicker Beast. We can see that right here. 600, add 50 backer world summaries to the Labyrinth. This is very interesting, and I will talk about that shortly. I hope it's described further below, but I'm very excited about that. 700k, Indomitable Fortress of Dib and Return of Dib. Indomitable Fortress of Dib I've played in, actually on a Kobold Press stream, and it sounds like there's a Return of Dib, which is exciting. 800k is third backer playtest. This will be the Warlock and Bard. We'll have access to those in August. 900k will be Trouble at Mossbeard Mill adventure. So I think they may be rebranding potentially some of their Kobold Press adventures to be in the Tales of the Valiant, previously 5e. Then we see some of the creative team here, right? People we all know from Kobold Press, as well as some from outside of Kobold Press, just who are, freelance writers as well, variety of artists and editors. All right, let's see. When are we thinking? They're saying PDFs will be delivered in April of next year. Hardcovers also listed as April of next year. So that's not too far away. This is a pretty ambitious thing. It also, again, not that it's necessary, but it potentially will be beating Wizards of the Coast to the punch, which I do think was intentional to try to get this out before the 2024 revisions to 5e happen. But let's take a look. So this says add 50 backer world summaries to the Labyrinth. Let me pull up. I just have a direct message from a friend who works at Kobold Press, and they said, that means 50 people will get their homebrew world listed as part of the Labyrinth. If selected, they will be paid and will be required to sign what we have permission to print, that we have permission to print the world, but we do not own it, which is pretty exciting. So this, essentially, like this Labyrinth, you could be like, hey, my homebrew world of whatever, I want to submit it, and if they like it, they could add your homebrew world as part of it, but also you'll get paid for it, which is pretty cool. And on top of that, like, you tell them what they're allowed to publish, but you still retain the rights to it, which is a super awesome move to not be like, hey, thanks for this, we own it now, you know, which is obviously a thing that we know WotC would do, what we've seen them do with things like the DM's Guild. So, yeah, I mean, they're killing it out here with this. It will also be available, again, for playtest at Gen Con, if you're going to be at Gen Con. As a reminder, I will be there, and I will have a ton of swag with me, by the way. So if you'd like to come hang out and find me at Gen Con, I'll be around with a bunch of friends doing crazy Gen Con things. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to go through the PDF. I was looking at it. I've got it on another screen here, but I'll pull it over here so you guys can see. Here is the playtest. Let's go ahead and make this one page. What do we have in here? Character creation, character classes, spellcasting, and monsters, right? Character creation, choose a class. This is all kind of stuff we'd already seen. But they also did specifically say that a lot of the changes that are mentioned in this document are as a direct result of the feedback provided by us in the surveys from the first few packets released. So we see Cleric. I don't believe we had Cleric originally. We have Cleric, Fighter, Rogue, and Wizard in this document. So we previously had Fighter and Wizard. Now we're also getting access to the Cleric and the Rogue, which is exciting. I'm a big Cleric fan, and I'm a big Rogue. I really want to play one, but my game that I've been playing one in has been very inconsistent. Let's just scroll through and take a look at some of the art here. Pretty awesome stuff. Then we have various heritages and lineages. We have some backgrounds here as well. Talents, again, are the replacement for feats. We have our spellcasting here, a variety of different spells. Some of them are just updates to 5e ones. I'm curious if they have equipment in here. Some sample monsters with art now. Hold on. Husk Demon. This is new. Husk Demon. I'm loving their Black Dragon art here. I like how it's a lot more, the dragon here is a lot more like spindly looking. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm choosing. And I like how this one, it looks like its skull. Its head is more of like a skull. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from that, which I think is pretty sweet. Goblin, Harpy. This is new art. Oh, I love the Otiug. It's very frog-like. I'm digging that. Satyr, and that's it. I was wondering if we were going to see equipment, because I was curious, because we saw that one cleric was wielding a scythe, and I was wondering if we were going to get, like, a scythe weapon as a separate weapon type. Maybe in a future one. We'll see. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Tales of the Valiant Kickstarter. It's obviously shredding through. It's going to be... It seems like it's going to be a real big one, and I've seen a lot of back and forth opinions in on my comments about this stuff, so I'm curious to see what you all think. Obviously, people are speaking with their wallets, as it's raised a ton more money than I think any Kobold Press Kickstarter in the past. I'm curious to see, do you think it'll break 1 million? Could this be... I'm not sure. Has there been any $1 million... I guess Shadow Dark was $1 million plus Kickstarter. I was going to say, how many 5e kind of based Kickstarters have there been that have broken $1 million this year? Probably not too many because of the scariness of the OGL, but I don't know. Like I said, I will absolutely make... You know what? I'll probably make a video talking just about this preview document, and then also scoop in the design diary stuff to talk about it as well. And then maybe we'll still make our future video where we compare, because now with this new preview, we have more classic D&D monsters like the Otiug, the Hellhound, and things that we can do side by side to see how the 5e version stacks up to the Tales of the Valiant version. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.